Alright my boys, we have crowned the king of BioTube. Now it's time to award the champion of BioTube. The champion is the channel with the single best Bionicle video ever created. Well, of course that is me, with Canister Wasteland 2, so we are actually looking for the second best, but don't let that get you down, because I don't really count in this contest. So let's just get started with an old favorite, Mr. WhatRT. While we love his stuff, it looks pretty outdated compared to some of the new youngsters' animation. So sadly we must let him go. How about funny folks like Jella and stuff? Those dweebs use video, which is very lazy form of animation, thus they are not worthy of this title. Okay, you say, how about Maniac Mac 1613? His fights look cool. No, they are actually pretty weak. Watching it slowed down, we see it is mostly just the character of the weapon doing a spin, and only one or two things being moved at once. And lots of sliding them across the floor, turning them over quickly as it goes, and then more spinning and some sliding, just not much precise movement like you would see in Someone's Killed. Now, I do indeed prefer character interactive hand-drawn special effects over throwing on some computer-generated stock laser beam, so he is not too bad in that department. But he is very guilty of looping his animation. And there are times when he stops the movements on a punch, just putting on some low frame rate effect, or lazily puts on some camera shake. His fights are mostly just flashy, without much in the nitty-gritty. And can we all please stop doing the guy 1 shoots and guy 2 blocks it filler scene cliché that does not advance the fight and plagues many people's videos. So now, Kalenloff is saying I'm being nitpicky, but this is the title of best video ever, so no laziness at all can be forgiven, and while I would not call Main Mac bad, he is not up to this list. So anyone who can't say they're better than that guy, give up all hope of winning now. Now we got Thatchmac, whose stuff looks pretty good, but oh, he's got lazy trash video film in his film. Go die in a trash fire. And you say, well, 166 Eric, if you don't like video animation, how about CGI animation like Metro Nui Legacy? Well, it does not look like the perfection that is my film, so it's just wrong. Now, this boy, Mason's mocks his stuff can be quite fluid if he tries, but lots of lazy stuff is in there too, but if he tries really hard he could maybe best me one day. And there is the threat of him doing 60 FPS stop motion. My one weakness, because when I uploaded Canister Wasteland YouTube could only run 30 FPS, so believe it or not it might not look as good as it could have. But with him uploading less often, I'm hoping he just dies off before he gets scary, because like I don't actually want someone to get better than me. And I Bionicle, more like I don't bend the legs very much in my fight scenes, Bionicle. Next I would talk about Joe Blackman 100 and Spidey 406. But I believe Palace Studios is the spiritual successor to both of them. Blackman's stiff action just doesn't cut it. And it suffers from only being 20 FPS. And Spidey, having only 2 months to finish his videos, could not keep up with Pally, whose took much longer to make. But alas, there is something important none of these people had. Constant motion, that is when the characters never stop moving every joint on them. This is what kills poor Pally. If you're going to try get close to my skills, constant motion is a must-have, and in all my years I can only remember these 3 people having constant motion. Wait a minute, on second viewing, Phantom Studios only has it for maybe half the time. The rest is motionless trash. Let's get him in the trash quickly. And then there were 2. The Video Project Toa versus 2016 Wave 2 Battle. Borok 321 strikes first with a higher frame rate, set to randomly change between 30 to 60 FPS, while Little Brotherhood seems to be 30 FPS or less. Brotherhood shows his stuff by actually having set design, but I mean I didn't use set design, so it must not be that important. But Borok sucks up to me in a comment saying he is trying to be more like me, says the next video will be closer to Canister Wasteland. Well, we're talking about this video, not the next one. And if you try to be like me, you will have to do a lot better than the not fast enough, clunky, trash fight scenes you have at the moment. Well, now let's check Project TOA's comments. Hey, look, the two of them and King Kalanloff are having a chat. And look, Callan says Project TOA is still one of the coolest contributions to Bionicle. Oh well, let's see what our great King Kalanloff says about 2016 Wave 2 battle in his comments. Oh, there is nothing there. Kalanloff has not acknowledged this man in any of his videos. Callan will usually comment on someone if the video is worthwhile. And if King Kalanloff does not acknowledge this man, then I will not acknowledge him either. But, wait a minute, what is this trash here? Callan is attempting to agree with some idiot that Project TOA is better than me. At least this boy knows what's up. But no, this is not true. Look at how this weak video oftentimes has the legs stop moving for a few seconds, not to mention that he is using mostly small figures, which I have found are much easier to use than large ones. And when the big one shows up, I don't know if you dweebs can tell, but the movements look small and weak. Now I get that this is like 7 years old, so he may have improved a lot, but I still say mine is better. And if you have light up eyes, you don't need to have the stupid eyebrows on the masks. Just have the glowy part doing all those expressions. Now, be a good boy like your friends and get in the trash. What's that, Callan? Oh he is the last one left. Oh, well, there we have it, the champion of all of BioTube. And that's that, we have our king and champion. As you can see, I am still the best, but our boys have fought honorably and earned the belt. Perhaps one day we will review some trash in depth later, but that's all for now, folks.